Good morning, dear students, and welcome to the online classes physics conducted by the Government of Andhra Pradesh Intermediate Board. So, today in semiconductors, we are going to discuss with the PN junction diode as full wave rectifier. So, what is a full wave rectifier? Junction diode, PN junction diode as full wave rectifier. PN junction diode. PN junction diode as a full wave rectifier. So already you know about half wave rectifier. Then what is rectification? Just I would like to recall. So rectification, alternating current is converting into direct current by using a junction diode, PN junction diode. So how it will be useful? That means the circuit diagram of this is the AC source. You may imagine this AC source is connected. The AC source is connected to the primary coil of a transformer, and the secondary coil, the secondary coil is connected to two PN junction diodes. Across this you may consider as a load resistance, but it is center tapped. The secondary transformer is center tapped. This connection is called center tapping. The center tapping, it is grounded. So across this a load resistance RL is connected. Across this a load resistance RL is connected. Across load resistance output can be taken, and this is the thing where it is input, and this is the place where it is output. Itself it has a name, full wave rectifier. Then how it works? This is the very important thing. And when the AC supply is given, the AC is a sinusoidal wave. Like this, AC supply is a sinusoidal wave. This sinusoidal wave should be rectified into single direction. That means this has a positive half cycle and negative half cycle. After rectification, what happens? Positive half cycle remains as positive half cycle, and this negative half cycle is also rectified. That means this is a full wave, one positive half cycle and one negative half cycle of AC. It is a full wave. So positive half cycle only rectified, that is known as half wave rectifier. Whereas in full wave rectifier, ఇక్కడ ఫుల్ వేవ్ రెక్టిఫైర్లో ఏం జరుగుతుంది? ఈ పాజిటివ్ హాఫ్ సైకిల్ రెక్టిఫై అవ్వాలి, నెగిటివ్ హాఫ్ సైకిల్ కూడా రెక్టిఫికేషన్లోకి రావాలి. ఇలా then it is said to be a full wave rectifier. This is the output, this is the input waveform, this is the output waveform. ఇదేమో ఇన్పుట్ వేవ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, ఇదేమో అవుట్పుట్ వేవ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏ విధంగా ఉంటుందంటే, ఇది ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక పాజిటివ్ హాఫ్ సైకిల్ దీనిలో నుంచి వెళ్తుందో, ఈ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్లో ఈక్వల్గా మనకేమవుతుంది, ఇటువైపు కూడా సైకిల్ అనేటటువంటిది ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అవుతుంది. ఇటువంటి సందర్భంలో ఈ డయోడ్ని D1, ఈ డయోడ్ని D2గా మీరు అనుకున్నట్లయితే, డయోడ్ D1 అనేటటువంటిది ఫార్వర్డ్ బయాస్లో ఉంటుంది. అంటే పాజిటివ్ హాఫ్ సైకిల్ లోపలికి వచ్చినప్పుడు దీనిలోకి సెకండరీ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్లోకి D1 అనేటటువంటిది ఫార్వర్డ్ బయాస్లో ఉంటుంది. అండ్ ఫర్ ఆల్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఫర్ పాజిటివ్ హాఫ్ సైకిల్స్ of AC, okay, diode D1 behaves as diode D1 is in forward bias. Whenever diodes are in forward bias, current passes through it. Diodes are in forward bias. What happens? Supply passes. So it allows forward bias. Then what about this diode D2? At the same time, diode D2 is in reverse bias. Diode D2 is in reverse bias. That means diode D1 is in forward bias for positive half cycles. At the same time, diode D2 is in reverse bias. So current or supply passes through D1. That means the positive cycle is passed through D1. So this is about D1. This is about D1, sorry. And what about D2? D2 is in reverse bias. Reverse bias means positive half cycle does not move. That means the polarity of the secondary transformer, say for positive half cycle, this is like that. Then what about immediately negative half cycle should come. Once positive half cycle is rectified, okay, over, it is passed. For negative half cycle, the polarities of the secondary transformer changes. Why? Because this is a negative half cycle. For negative half cycle, what happens? The polarity of the secondary transformer changes. Whenever the polarity of the secondary transformer changes, for negative half cycles, of AC, diode D2 is in forward bias. That means the polarity of the secondary transformer changes for every half cycle. So the polarities of the secondary transformer changes for every half cycle. So at this time, this will become negative and positive. D2 is in forward bias. D2 is in forward bias. And at the same time, diode D1 is in reverse bias. Diode D1 is in reverse bias. That means the negative half cycle is passed through D2 but not through D1. Why? Because D1 is in reverse bias. That means positive half cycle is rectified by diode D1 and negative half cycle is rectified by diode D2. The secondary transformer is center tapped and the output voltage is accounted or taken at load resistance RL. So the negative half cycle also rectified. So whenever again positive, negative. Again what happens? Again positive half cycle will come. So for positive half cycle again diode D1 is in forward bias, D2 is in reverse bias. So positive half cycle also rectifies. And again what happens? Negative half cycle comes. So this process is continuous. The process is continuous. So all the positive half cycles, diode D1 is in forward bias. For all negative half cycles, diode D2 is in reverse bias. So all positive half cycles are rectified by diode D1 and all the negative half cycles are rectified by diode D2. So all the positive half cycles is rectified by diode D1 and negative half cycles is rectified by diode D2. That means positive half cycle also rectifying and negative half cycle also rectifying, so that the full wave of AC is converted into a full wave of DC in single direction, no half cycles. So the conversion of full cycle of AC current into DC current is known as full wave rectifier. సో ఈ ఫుల్ వేవ్ రెక్టిఫైర్ని ఎలా కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేయాలి? మనం ఒక ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్ తీసుకోండి. ఈ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్ యొక్క ప్రైమరీ కాయిల్కి ఏసీ సప్లైని ఇవ్వాలి. ఈ సెకండరీ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్లో రెండు డయోడ్లు, పిఎన్ జంక్షన్ డయోడ్లు D1 D2, రెండు డయోడ్లు, ఒకటి వచ్చేటప్పటికేమో పైకి ఒకటేమో కిందకి ఇలా కనెక్ట్ చేస్తాము. దీని ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా మిడ్ పాయింట్లో ట్యాప్ చేస్తారు. ఈ కనెక్షన్ని సెంటర్ ట్యాపింగ్ అంటారు. ఈ సెంటర్ ట్యాపింగ్ గ్రౌండ్ చేసేయండి. ఈ వచ్చేటటువంటి ఈ అవుట్పుట్ ఇక్కడ, అంటే ఇది పీ టైప్, ఇది ఎన్ టైప్ అని మనకు తెలుసు కాబట్టి ఈ ఎన్ టైప్ నుంచి వచ్చేటటువంటి దీన్ని లోడ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్కి కలపండి. అలాగే సెంటర్ ట్యాప్ను కూడా లోడ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్కి కలపండి. ఈ కనెక్షన్నే మనం సెకండరీ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్ కనెక్షన్గా చెప్పుకుంటాం. అంటే ప్రైమరీ ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్లో ఏసీ సప్లై ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఏసీ సప్లై ఈజ్ గివెన్ టు primary transformer and the output DC supply is collected across load resistance, So in secondary transformer, diode D1, D2 are connected as shown in figure and the load resistance is connected like this. The secondary transformer is center tapped. When AC supply starts, then when you switch on AC supply begins. So when transformer is in active condition, AC supply is on, for positive half cycles, diode D1 is in forward bias. At the same time, diode D2 is in reverse bias. So supply passes through diode D1 and is collected yet across load resistance, and For negative half cycles, diode D2 is in forward bias. Okay, diode D2 is in forward bias and the supply is collected across load resistance RL. So all positive half cycles, diode D1 is in forward bias. At the same time, diode D2 is in reverse bias. And for all negative half cycles, diode D2 is in forward bias. At the same time, diode D1 is in reverse bias. So positive half cycles D1 passes the supply. That means all the positive half cycles are rectified by diode D1 and all the negative half cycles are rectified by diode D2. This mechanism makes the positive and negative half cycles of AC is rectifying. That is, a full wave is rectified. So that's why it is called full wave rectifier. Okay, so the main points you have to understand is, for every positive half cycle and negative half cycle, that means for every positive half cycle and negative half cycle, for positive half cycles D1 is in forward bias and for negative half cycle D2 is in forward bias. And a secondary transformer changes its polarities. The secondary transformer changes its polarities for every half cycle. Whenever the polarities of the secondary changes for every half cycle, either diode D1 or diode D2 will be in forward bias. One diode will be in forward bias. Automatically other will be in reverse bias. So diode D1 rectifies all positive half cycles and diode D2 rectifies all negative half cycles of AC. So full wave of AC is rectified using two diodes connected in secondary transformer. This is why this is a full wave rectifier. This is generally more efficient than half wave rectifier. Okay, and the efficiency simply doubles compared with half wave rectifier. Efficiency also doubles, but there is some ripples, and in these there will be some up and down in the supply. To make this we can use filter circuits using capacitor also. This is about full wave rectifier. Okay, now we are going to discuss about Zener diode. So what is a Zener diode? How it works? This is what we have to understand now. So this is a PN junction diode used as a half wave rectifier as well as a full wave rectifier. In half wave rectifier, what you are doing? Only one diode you are using. But whereas in full wave rectifier, what you are doing? You are using two diodes. And the secondary transformer should be center tapped. These are the important points you have to notice. This is the output supply waveform. So Zener diode. So what is a Zener diode and what is its symbol? A suitably heavily doped PN junction diode is known as a Zener diode, and the symbol of Zener diode is Z, like this. So this is p type, n type only you can take, no problem. Same as ordinary diode. For ordinary diode you have to go like this, whereas for GNR diode make it as Z, like this. So this GNR diode is heavily doped. That means the doping concentration of GNR diode is relatively high, and it has some particular use. Generally it is connected in circuits in reverse bias breakdown voltage. Generally it is connected in reverse bias to the supplies, and it operates at breakdown voltage. It operates at breakdown voltage, Zener diode. That means how, sir? Let's discussing about this. So a Zener diode is a suitably doped heavily. Generally, a suitably doped PN junction diode is accounted as Zener diode. Comparing with PN junction diode, the doping concentration is more. So the characteristics of Zener diode is also changes. Generally it is in reverse bias condition it is used. So what is reverse bias? I already told you. When you consider a PN junction diode, the positive P type is connected to positive terminal of the battery, and the negative is connected to negative terminal of the battery. N type is connected to negative terminal of the battery. This is called forward biasing. Then reverse biasing means the P type is connected to negative terminal and N type is connected to positive terminal. Same accountable to this also. That means a Zener diode P type is connected to negative terminal of the battery and N type is connected to positive terminal of the battery. Such type of connection is known as reverse bias. Okay, whenever in reverse bias, the breakdown voltage, approximately the breakdown voltage will be very low for Zener diodes. At breakdown voltage only it operates. So when you draw a graph for voltage and current characteristics, at voltage is increasing, at breakdown voltage comes, the current in the circuit becomes maximum, it operates, whereas the voltage does not change for a wide range. The voltage does not change for a wide range. It is observed. That is the nature of this Zener diode. When it is in reverse bias condition at breakdown voltage operates, once the breakdown voltage reached, the input voltage is reached the breakdown voltage, the current through the circuit becomes maximum, but not the voltage. Voltage is almost remains constant. Voltage does not change, but the current changes enormously. This is what the importance of a Zener diode. That means the voltage at this current, voltage is almost same. Voltage is almost same. The voltage is almost same. That means voltage is not changing, but the supply current is increasing enormously. That means voltage is not changing, almost same means not changing, meaning that the voltage is regulated. The voltage is regulated. This mechanism, this property of Zener diode makes it as voltage regulator. So Zener diode used as voltage regulator. So how it's, again you may have doubts, sir, what about forward bias? The forward bias characteristics of junction diode is similar to PN junction diode forward characteristics only. So the reverse bias condition only it works. Okay, in reverse bias condition only the Zener diode should works, and in circuits you should connect the Zener diode in reverse bias, and it is always operated at breakdown voltage of Zener diode. Then why current is increasing automatically? Actually, when at breakdown voltage, this voltage is sufficient to break or to attract the valency electrons of atom. So at breakdown voltage, okay, even though the depletion layer is very thin, at this voltage it is sufficient to break the valency electrons from atoms, to break the bonds of valency electrons. Breaks the bonding of valency electrons from atoms. So whenever valence electrons are freed, they tend to move either sides of the electrodes. Whenever holes from n side moves to positive terminal and electrons from p side moves to negative terminal, large amount of current is produced. And even it can withstand around 5 into 10 power 6 volt per meter electric field, and the voltage remains almost constant. Even if you take a 5 volt Zener breakdown, it does not increase more than 5, but the current increases rapidly. The current in the supply increases rapidly. This is one of the peculiarity of the Zener diode. So a Zener diode is a suitably heavily doped PN junction diode and is always operated in reverse bias condition, and it operates at breakdown voltages. Okay, so how it is used as a voltage regulator? How a Zener diode is used as a voltage regulator? That's what our contest, and we have to discussing about that. Generally, the output supply of AC through rectifier, that is nothing but DC supply. The DC supply is connected. Through Zener diode across a series resistance in reverse bias condition. So in reverse bias condition, that means the positive terminal is connected to N type and negative terminal is connected to P type. Okay, and across this a load resistance is also connected where output voltage is accounted. A simple circuit, this is simple circuit. So only two resistances, okay, only two resistances. One is a series resistance, another one is a parallel resistance connected parallel to Zener diode. In diagrams you may see no problem at all. From supply to series resistance like this, and Zener diode across this load resistance you may count it as a DC supply. This is also another diagram. This is a series resistance, RS. This is a load resistance, RL. A class load, output is taken. Zener. So Zener is always connected in reverse bias at breakdown region. You see, the connection is like this. The Zener diode is connected in series with a resistance RS, and parallel a load resistance RL. The output is taken. The Zener diode is always connected in reverse bias to the input supply as shown in figure. Okay. సో ఏం చేస్తున్నాం మనం ఇక్కడ DC సప్లై తీసుకుంటున్నాము. ఈ DC సప్లైకి ఒక సిరీస్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ని కలుపుతున్నాము. రెసిస్టెన్స్ వెంటనే మనం ఒక Zener డయోడ్ని రివర్స్ బయాస్లో కలుపుతున్నాం. దీనికి సమాంతరంగా ఒక లోడ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ RLని కూడా కలుపుతున్నాం. ఈ సర్క్యూట్ని వోల్టేజ్ రెగ్యులేటర్ సర్క్యూట్ అని అంటారు. ఈ సర్క్యూట్ని ఏమంటున్నాం మనం? వోల్టేజ్ రెగ్యులేటర్ సర్క్యూట్ అంటాం. ద సప్లై ఈజ్ ఆల్సో లైక్ దిస్. యూ మే అబ్జర్వ్ దిస్. ఓకే, బోత్ ఆర్ సేమ్. అండ్ నౌ ద ఇన్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ హ్యాస్ మోర్ ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్స్. అంటే ఇన్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్లో కనుక మనకి చాలా అప్ అండ్ డౌన్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఏమవుతుంది, సర్క్యూట్లోకి వోల్టేజ్ ఎక్కువ అవ్వచ్చు, కరెంట్ ఎక్కువ అవ్వచ్చు, లేదా రెండు ఎక్కువ అవ్వచ్చు. ఇటువంటి సందర్భంలో ఏమవుతుంది అంటే మనకి అవుట్పుట్లో మనకి స్టడీ సప్లై రావాలి. ఆ స్టడీ సప్లై రావడానికి Zener డయోడ్ అనేటటువంటిది ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. ఎలాగో చూద్దాం. సపోజ్ ఇన్పుట్లో దిస్ Zener diode is also used at a breakdown region in reverse bias condition. సో ఇక్కడ ఉండేటటువంటి బ్రేక్డౌన్ రీజియన్లో ఇది ఒక్కసారి యాక్షన్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది అంటే హై వోల్టేజ్ వచ్చింది. ఎప్పుడైతే వోల్టేజ్ హై వచ్చిందో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, వోల్టేజ్ డ్రాప్ ఒకటి మరియు కరెంట్ సప్లై. సో కరెంటు కూడా ఎప్పుడైతే వోల్టేజ్ ఎక్కువైందో కరెంటు కూడా ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది, సర్క్యూట్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. కరెంటు ఎక్కువగా సప్లైలోకి వచ్చిన Zener డయోడ్ అనేటటువంటిది బ్రేక్డౌన్ రీజియన్లో వర్క్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి కరెంటుతో పాటుగా వోల్టేజ్ పెరగదు. ఎందుకని? ఇది బ్రేక్డౌన్ రీజియన్లో కనుక యాక్ట్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు వోల్టేజ్ అక్రాస్ Zener diode does not change, almost remains constant. కాబట్టి ఇందులో వోల్టేజ్ పెరగదు, కరెంటు పెరగచ్చు. కరెంటుతో పాటుగా వోల్టేజ్ అనేది మాత్రం Zener డయోడ్లో ఏమవుతుంది, పెరగదు. ఎందుకని? Zener డయోడ్ బ్రేక్డౌన్ రీజియన్లో వర్కౌట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి అవుట్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ అనేటటువంటిది స్టడీగానే ఉంటుంది. లేదు కరెంట్ వోల్టేజ్ రెండు ఒక్కసారిగా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయ్యాయి. సపోజ్ వోల్టేజే ఇంక్రీజ్ అయిపోయింది, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసింది వోల్టేజ్. ఈ వోల్టేజ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినా సరే ఇది ఆల్రెడీ బ్రేక్ డౌన్ రీజియన్లోనే ఉంది కాబట్టి హై వోల్టేజ్ వచ్చినా సరే ద ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ వోల్టేజ్ ఈజ్ అబ్జార్బ్డ్ బై సిరీస్ రెసిస్టెన్స్. సో ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ సిరీస్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ సెలెక్టెడ్. The value of series resistance is selected such a way that the Zener diode should always works at breakdown region only. సో హై వోల్టేజ్ వచ్చినా కానీ ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్స్ అనేటటువంటి దానిలో వోల్టేజ్ ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్స్, రెసిస్టెన్స్ అనేటటువంటిది ఇక్కడ ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్ కొంత అబ్జార్బ్ చేసేస్తుంది. ఈ వచ్చేటటువంటి వోల్టేజ్లో ఇది బ్రేక్ డౌన్ వోల్టేజ్ దగ్గర వర్కౌట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి వోల్టేజ్ అక్రాస్ జీనార్ డయోడ్ రిమైన్స్ కాన్స్టెంట్. అంటే మనకి కరెంటు ఎక్కువైనా అవుట్పుట్లో డిఫరెన్స్ రాదు, వోల్టేజ్ ఇన్పుట్లో ఎక్కువైనా అవుట్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్లో డిఫరెన్స్ రాదు. వై? బికాస్ ద ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ అండ్ వోల్టేజ్ ఆర్ అబ్జార్బ్డ్ బై ద series resistance as well as the Zener diode, and the Zener diode whenever works at breakdown region the voltage across Zener diode remains constant over a wide range. సో జనరల్లీ మనకి పొటెన్షియల్ అంటే ఇక్కడ వోల్టేజ్ ఎక్కువైంది డీసీ సప్లై, అవుట్పుట్లో మాత్రం వోల్టేజ్కి సంబంధించి ఎటువంటి రకమైనటువంటి తరుగుదల లేదా హెచ్చు ఇవేవి ఉండవు. దేర్ విల్ బి నో ఇంక్రీజ్ ఆర్ డిక్రీజ్. దేర్ విల్ బి నో ఇంక్రీజ్ ఆర్ డిక్రీజ్ ఇన్ అవుట్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్. సపోజ్ లో వోల్టేజ్ వచ్చింది సార్, లో వోల్టేజ్ వస్తే లో కరెంట్ వస్తుంది కదా, ఇది ఇంకో డౌట్ వస్తుంది. సో వెన్ ద వోల్టేజ్ ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్ కమ్స్ ఇట్ ఇన్పుట్, ఓకే, వెనెవర్ ద లో వోల్టేజ్ కమ్స్ ఇన్ టు ఇన్పుట్ దేర్ విల్ బి లో వోల్టేజ్. But Zener diode is working with reverse bias condition. The sufficient current will be follow up in the circuit. సో ఇందాక మనం చెప్పుకున్నాం, మళ్ళీ ఎప్పుడైతే ఇది రివర్స్ బయాస్ కండిషన్లో బ్రేక్ డౌన్ దగ్గర వర్కౌట్ అవుతుందో దీని దగ్గర ఉండేటటువంటి యాటమ్స్లో ఉండేటటువంటి ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ని ఇది ఏం చేయగలుగుతుంది, వ్యాలెన్స్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ని రిమూవ్ చేసేసుకొని సప్లైని పెంచుకోగలుగుతుంది. కాబట్టి లో వోల్టేజ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు సఫిషియంట్ కరెంట్ని ఇది ఏం చేయగలుగుతుంది, సర్క్యూట్లోకి పాస్ చేస్తుంది. కాబట్టి కరెంట్లో కూడా ఎటువంటి తగ్గుదల కనపడదు. సో ద వోల్టేజ్ ఈజ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ స్టడీ అక్రాస్ ద లోడ్ రెసిస్టెన్స్. The voltage is almost steady across the load resistance. Even though there is a fluctuated voltage is connected at input. ఇన్పుట్లో వచ్చే ఫ్లక్చుయేటెడ్ వోల్టేజ్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో, ఓకే, ఈ ఇన్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ యొక్క వచ్చేటువంటి ఫ్లక్చుయేటెడ్ వోల్టేజ్లో ఉండే ఫ్లక్చుయేషన్స్ని జనరల్లీ సిరీస్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ వోల్టేజ్ డ్రాప్స్ని అబ్జార్బ్ చేసేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. కరెంట్ లోగా ఉంది అంటే కనుక ఆ లోగా ఉండేటటువంటి కరెంటుతో పాటుగా ఇది బ్రేక్ డౌన్ రీజియన్లో వర్కౌట్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి సప్లై కరెంట్లో ఎటువంటి రకమైనటువంటి చేంజ్ లేకుండా జీనార్ కరెంట్ అనేటువంటిది ఫాలో అప్ అయిపోతుంది. దిస్ ఈజ్ ద థింగ్ విచ్ ఈజ్ యూజ్డ్ యాజ్ జీనార్ డయోడ్ యాజ్ వోల్టేజ్ రెగ్యులేటర్. సో జీనార్ డయోడ్ ఈజ్ ఎ డివైస్ ఆపరేటెడ్ ఎట్ బ్రేక్ డౌన్ రీజియన్. A divide operated at breakdown region. So Zener diode, how the connection, circuit connection to the input DC, a series resistance and a Zener diode is connected in reverse bias as shown in figure. Across Zener diode a load resistance is connected. So across load resistance output is taken. When input voltage fluctuations comes, the series resistance absorbs the voltage. That means the voltage drop will be observed at series resistance, and the sufficient current and voltage, why? Because it is working at a breakdown voltage, So over a wide range, the voltage across Zener diode does not change, and the current and voltage does not change even over a wide range, so that across load resistance you will account steady output. This is what the use of Zener diode. So Zener diode is used as a voltage regulator. And now we are going to discuss about triodes, and then we have to discuss a part of this bit. Later we will discuss. Okay, thank you. Now we are going to learn triodes. Generally, ode means electrodes, you have to understand, and ends otherwise. Okay, triode. Diode means two ends it has. Okay, P type, N type. Triode, it has three ends. Then how it is? So these triodes, that means in a single crystal, germanium crystal or silica crystal, whatever it may be, you may take, part of it is doped with trivalent impurity or pentavalent impurity. Otherwise, you may imagine part of it is P type, that means it is doped with, and a part is doped with N type, and again it is doped with P type, that means trivalent impurity, pentavalent impurity, trivalent impurity. These impurities, if you add trivalent impurity, pentavalent and trivalent, so in a single germanium crystal, that means it has this side, it has one end P type semiconductor, this is the other end. Obviously you can account it as another end P type also, this is. What about this end? This is N type. So in triodes, the doping concentrations are different. Generally this part is accounted as emitter, and this part is accounted as base, and this part is accounted as collector. That means the combination of PN junction diodes, if you made like this, make it to 3. Trivalent impurity doped, in between a pentavalent impurity, and then a trivalent impurity. Then such type of combination of doping, the doping concentration of P type here in emitter junction, this is heavily you have to dope, and this is you have to dope with moderate, and this is less doping. That means the doping concentrations of a triode are different. So you have to make a small layer of N. Then this is accounted as PNP transistor. So these triodes are of two types. One is NPN transistor and PNP transistors. That means for NPN, I hope you will now understand what is a NPN transistor. Part of it is doped with pentavalent impurity, so N type this is, and the middle region it is doped with trivalent impurity, so it is P, and again it is doped, the remaining part it is doped with pentavalent impurity. The combination of this crystal will become a triode having 3 ends: emitter, base and collector, and the same concentrations as above we have to make. Generally emitter region is heavily doped and the collector region is moderately doped and the base region is lightly doped, less doped or lightly doped. This type of combination is known as NPN transistor. Generally, a transistor can be represented with a circle having base and like this it is represented. If the arrow mark is downwards, it is PNP. If the arrow mark is upward to the emitter, that is NPN. So PNP, you may imagine emitter base collector, EBC configuration this is. And you should know why we are using all this. For amplification factors also we use. What is amplification then? Amplification means generally if the signal is weak, if you want to improve the strength of the signal, that process is known as amplification. So amplification is a mechanism which is used to increase the strength of signal. A weak signal is amplified to a desired level so that the signal can be easy to transmit. These triodes are used for amplifiers also. And there is a different combinations, common base configuration, common emitter configuration, and different types of combinations we have in these triodes. Just the circuit diagrams, that means these are the circuit diagrams. If you represent with a circle like this type of mechanism, if I represent, this is the circuit symbol. The circuit symbol of PNP, if you imagine, and this is NPN. Okay. Simply same mechanism here with this circle we have to represent depending on the arrow mark. This is one of the important question for our intermediate PU, intermediate classes. Okay, one of the 9th or 10th class, 9th or 10th question you will observe. Okay, for 2 marks. Generally this is important. Since the transistors configuration is of 3 types, generally common base, common emitter and common collector configurations. That means common base, the input output base is common. Common emitter, for emitter input and output emitter end is common. And for common collector, for this the collector end is for input and output. These are the circuit symbols. In common base configuration, base can be given as input and also for output. Common base configuration. So how many ends of a transistor we have? We have 3 ends: base, emitter and collector. So which end if you give common to either input or output, both if you give, okay, then such type of combination is known as common base configuration. Here base is connected to input and it is connected to output also. If it is for emitter, this emitter region is connected to input and the emitter region is also connected to output. that is known as common emitter connection. And that of common collector, this common collector region, that means collector end is given for input as well as the same end is used for output connection also. Okay, such type of combinations, this type of combinations you have to understand. So this type of combinations are known as transistor configurations. So the transistor configurations is of three types. One is common base configuration and common collector configuration and common emitter configuration. So common base configuration, this is the first one. Common emitter configuration, second one. And common collector configuration, it is third one. These are the circuit symbols. These are the circuit symbols of common base, common emitter and common collector configurations. Okay.